Hello, welcome to Cooking Keto with Kirby-Gatto. We are in the kitchen today getting ready for Thanksgiving. Although I will be carving up one day only, I will be carving up tomorrow at my mother's. I'm still preparing a Thanksgiving feast for when we get home on the whole entire weekend. So join in today as I cook one of my favorite desserts, and also as I also do a meal prep to show you how to do a delicious, awesome dinner. Welcome. Hey Diane, I see you. Thank you for joining in. We're going to have an awesome time in the kitchen cooking, right? So let us get started in just a few minutes. I'm going to wait just a minute until a few of you sign on. And I appreciate you all joining in on this cooking rendition of Cooking Keto with Kirby-Gatto. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel for Cooking Keto, you can actually look at it, and I'll actually post it on my Facebook wall. But it's Cooking Keto with Kirby-Gatto. Let me look at who's joining in today as we get ready to get started. I see you, Linda. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. Hey, Crystal, God bless you. Thank you for joining in. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Diane. Thank you for joining in. And we're going to get started, right? I'm going to try to go real fast. Hey, Leah. I'm going to try to go real fast because my battery life is kind of low on my iPad. But we are going to have an awesome time in Cooking Keto. Now, just to tell you two things we're going to be cooking today. I'm going to be cooking a keto coffee cheesecake. And I'm also going to be cooking, in the midst of that, I'm going to be cooking a yummy marinara sauce that is so yummy to die for. It is absolutely amazing, and we're going to be doing it with Zoodles. So I will get you an awesome recipe for both dessert and for an awesome meal. We're preparing for Thanksgiving tomorrow, but tonight I'm going to make the best comfort food for the ketogenic diet. It's fast, it's easy, and it's comfort food all on a plate. Hey, Renee, thank you for joining in. Hey, two Renees. So thank you for joining in. So let us get started. For this coffee cheesecake, get a mixing bowl. You're going to have to wash it out because you're going to have to use it twice. Also, get a regular non-stick pie pan, cake pan, and this is going to come in so super handy for this particular cheesecake because once you make it, oh my goodness, you're going to want to make it every week, but don't do it so you don't get burnt out. But this is the best recipe. I've tried cheesecake after cheesecake, and this is the best one by far. I almost feel like I'm at Cheesecake Factory eating that New York style cheesecake. So join me, right? So for our crust, we're going to make our crust first. I've got my oven at 355. Now I'm going to bump it down to 350. And we're going to put, for our crust, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put 1 1/3 cup of almond flour. Then we're going to add 2/3 sugar, stevia. Not real sugar, but stevia. And then we're also going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. I kind of eye it. And so I put the vanilla, sprinkle it on like that. I use vanilla up really fast. So that's not enough vanilla, and I'm going to try to do this a little low so y'all can see me. That's not enough vanilla, so I'm going to use some more vanilla. So I'm going to put just a little bit more, and we're going to have about a teaspoon of vanilla, and then we're going to add also 1 egg. Now this is where you get a little action on this episode, and so I've got 1 egg, and we're going to crack it, and we're going to mix it. And then, let me wash my hand. And then we're going to mix it. And then we're going to mix all of these ingredients together. Now, a lot of people only do a 1/2 cup of stevia. Rich has a massive sweet tooth, and it's never sweet enough for him. So I do 2/3 cup of stevia. I've made this crust, and I've got it perfected. And oh my goodness, it is the best crust recipe ever. And so, if you mix 1 egg and you pour it in with all that almond flour, that stevia, and that vanilla, And then you top it off. Let me stir it up a little bit. What I like to do is stir it up before I actually get into the other part, which we're going to do in a second. You're going to mix all of this up first, and then you're going to add butter. I do about 2.5 tablespoons of butter, 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. Now this crust, it's going to seem like it's not enough liquid in here, but relax, it's enough liquid. You just got to let it do its work. I end up getting about almost 3 tablespoons of butter because we're getting our fat. We're getting our fat in the egg, in the almond flour, and we're getting our fat in butter. Y'all love fat on keto, right? And so we get all that fat, and then we work all of this mixture together. I know it looks yummy, doesn't it, Linda? And so we use all this mixture together. Now, when we get to this point, oh my goodness, I smell that vanilla. I just want to eat this like cookie dough. Now, when we get it to this point, you're actually going to put your spatula aside, and you're going to get all of that off the spatula, and then you're going to want to use your hands because you're going to want to squeeze the dough together. And oh my goodness, this dough is the perfect dough recipe. Oh my goodness. For the crust, if you want a good crust for a pie, this recipe is tried and tested, and I've done plenty of them. This is the best crust recipe I've ever done. It's got the perfect crunchiness, the perfect texture, and it holds so well. Now then you're going to put all of this crust mixture, you're going to put it into this pie pan right here. Now remember, we're going to wash this bowl because we're going to have to use it for our filling. Right now we're just doing the crust. Temperature at 350 degrees, and we're doing our crust. And so I'm going to actually mash down on this and try to form it where it comes a little bit on the side. And I love, love, love this crust recipe. It is like some of the crust recipes were absolutely too much crust. You know, you felt like your pie was all crust and you didn't have any filling practically. So I'm doing about probably half of the crust recipe that most people do, because most people call for at least 2 to 3 cups of almond flour. I do not do that. We like our crust just a perfect thickness, and this is going to be the perfect crust recipe in this particular pan. And I'm telling you, this makes 8 pieces of pie when you're through with it. And Rich and I generally will have 1 slice a day. So this pie recipe, if it's for 2 people, will last 1 slice a day. And you're getting in your good fats, and you're also able to get in some delicious food, right? Being on keto, I'm not a sweets person. Rich is really the sweet person. For me, I just like the main meat and potatoes, but of course I don't eat potatoes. And so my favorite things on keto, of course, are meat and keto coffee. Love keto coffee. And also the vegetables and all kinds of yummy stuff, cauliflower mashed. I do all kinds of things. I love doing cauliflower rice. And I'm going to show you another recipe that is not a sweet recipe, that is actually a meal that you can actually do too. Me too, Sue. I love sweets. Yes, Roseanne, we need some sweets. And so you can eat this, and you might want to feel guilty because it tastes so yummy, but you don't feel guilty. You just enjoy it like you're in luxury, right? And by the way, while you're getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, you can do this in no time at all. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm mashing with my fingers and just getting that up the side a little bit because I want it to come up just a little bit. I don't want it just overriding on the side. I know some people like it coming all the way up, but Rich and I both just like it coming up just a little bit. And let me tell you, a lot of people say let the pie crust rest. But today we're not going to let it rest. And generally, I don't let it rest because I'm always in a hurry trying to get this done. It's done. Look at that. Now put it in the oven. And you're going to put it on for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. But you're going to check on it starting at 16 minutes to look to see if it's golden brown, right? Okay, I've got it on 20 minutes. Now let me just rinse this out and we'll start our filling. Look how fast that was. I hope you all are getting ready for fantastic holidays with your family. And this is going to be awesome that you can just do. Yes, me too, Roseanne. I like mine really crunchy. Now the filling, are you ready for coffee cheesecake keto style? You can eat it. It is absolutely yummy and you will not feel guilty. Isn't that awesome? So for your filling, after you got your crust in the oven, you got plenty of time to make your filling. So you're going to need 3 eggs. I've got them right here. And I'm going to put them in here. Here's 3 eggs. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do it right below the camera. But I'll be able to talk to you while I'm cracking these eggs and getting these eggs together. And you're going to want to have a hand mixer on hand so you can mix everything in a minute. So I've got my eggs. 3 eggs. And even though I'm going to blend it, I still like to go ahead and mix my eggs up. So by the time I get all the cream cheese in and the flavoring in, it'll be super, super easy. So I've got my 3 eggs in there. The next thing I'm going to do is you're going to have 2 ounces of cream cheese. I always set these out the morning of or the night before so they can get a room temperature and it's easy to blend with a hand mixer. You're also going to want, what I put in mine is walnuts. So I've got my walnuts back here in butter, and I'm going to cut it on about 2.5 because these walnuts will burn if you do not keep an eye on them. And I don't want them to burn because I have a lot of stuff going on. And so I'm going to put walnuts in mine. And I actually take stevia in its granular form, and I put it, this is basically a converted stevia machine where it used to do for coffee, and sometimes I still do coffee. I actually did coffee in it the other night. And so it's got both coffee and stevia, granulated stevia, that I actually use and turn it on and make it confectioner stevia. That's just a little side note for a handy tool. Generally in the crust, I will do the granulated stevia where it looks like granules. But when I put this in the pie filling, I want it to super blend. So I'm going to put it in my coffee mixer and I'm going to get my stevia to a confectioner consistency. So now, here's the eggs, and I'm going to pour this stevia in here at a confectioner. Do you see that powder? You always know, look, when you open and you do this stevia, the granular stevia, when you do it in here, I'm telling you, you need to be careful when you open it because you're going to have powder flying all up in your face from that confectioner style stevia. And then I'm going to go ahead and add probably about 3 ounces of my favorite coffee. That's what I'm going to add right here. And I had the certain boldness that I want. And so I'm going to go ahead and add some coffee. And let me tell you, it seems like it's going to be really liquidy. But my experience from all of this, my experience has been that this particular recipe has the perfect consistency and ends up being the best. Now I've got those things in here. I'm also going to still put in some vanilla. Even though I've already got my coffee in there, and this is a coffee cheesecake, you're still going to want to put in at least a teaspoon of vanilla. And so put in a teaspoon of vanilla. I accidentally put in a lot, but I like vanilla. And then I'm going to end with these 2 cream cheeses. So let's go ahead and open up the first 8-ounce cream cheese. And let's get it ready to go into the mixture. I don't know if y'all are excited, but oh my goodness. Y'all are going to see some action in a minute when I get this blender going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in the mixture, right? These things, for some reason, I always have trouble opening these cream cheese things. I don't know why I have trouble with it, but I do. Let me get it over here so I can open it over here in front of you. And so with this, you're going to put both cream cheeses in here. And you're going to do your best to try to get as much cream cheese off of it. I actually got it on my finger. You know, this is going to get messy. Why did I wear black? I told myself I was not going to wear black because I'm going to end up having white all over me after I get through with this recipe. So I'm getting now this second 8 ounce of cream cheese And I'm getting it ready to pour in here. And then we're going to go to the mixer, the hand mixer. And oh my goodness, it's going to be loud, but just bear with me because you'll see this consistency. And it's going to be super yummy. And after I'm through doing hand mixing with this particular filling for the cheesecake, coffee cheesecake, then I'm going to start a dinner recipe that is super yummy. And oh my goodness, you will so thank me for it. I've got cream cheese all over my fingers. And I can't help but lick this cream cheese. I just love cream cheese. I thank God for cheese. Thank you, God, for cows. I just really enjoy cream cheese. And so I'm getting all this cream cheese off out of these packages because you know these silver packages are hard to get off sometimes with all the cream cheese, so you can get as much as you possibly can. I want as much cream cheese as I possibly can get out of these packages. And so I've got my 2 things of cream cheese in there. Let me just try to get just a hint more off. I've got my 2 things of cream cheese. Let me just wash my hands, and then we'll go to the mixer. Now we are ready for the mixer. It is going to get really loud. I've got my mixer, hand mixer right now. And it's going to get loud, I'm just warning you. But also I like this mixer because this mixer actually has kneading tools as well. I'm going to try to do it over there so y'all can see a little bit over there. So help me with this mixer. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to try to keep it away from my black shirt as much as possible without getting all over me. And I'm going to start mixing this. I'm already getting it all over me. Why did I wear black? I guess so I could have evidence that you know that I am cooking. Sorry, a little thing came up on my window and I had to turn it off. Oh my goodness, this might not be good as far as me trying to do this while standing up and holding it and trying to do my iPad at the same time. So I'm getting this mixed all in here, and you can already see the coffee color that it's getting. And I'm going to start it a little more and get this going faster. Let me get this little bit off the side and put it down in here. It's not wanting to get down. Get down there and get mixed. Yummy. Oh my goodness, this is so yummy. So I'm almost through mixing it. I'm fixing to put it on a really high speed. Oh my goodness, that coffee smells so good. I can smell it. We actually got snickerdoodle coffee. Snickerdoodle. And you try to mix it and get it blended as much as possible. As much as possible. It's difficult sometimes, but just do the best that you can. I cannot believe I just did not get this all over myself. That is amazing. And so that is my inside, my filling. And I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to put these in a sink and get that over there. And again, you're going to feel like this is too liquidy, especially from all the other recipes that you see on the internet. And it really looks liquidy, but I'm telling you, the consistency that it comes out with is bar none the best. And you're going to have to, with this recipe, make it a day ahead or make it super early in the morning because you're going to refrigerate it. And that refrigeration is going to also, with that settling of the filling, because the filling's going to look higher when it comes out initially, but once it settles and it's been in the refrigerator overnight, it is the absolute perfect consistency of that New York style cheesecake. So now I'm going to put this on the side. This is my filling right here, and I'm putting it on the side, and we're waiting until the pie crust gets ready, right? But guess what? We have something to do in between that time. Like if I did not decide I wanted to do enough, right? Let's do the next thing that we got planned. Let's say you want a yummy dinner. A yummy dinner. something quick, something easy, and you don't know what to do, this is what you do. You always, say always, you always get you some Tennessee Pride hot sausage. We get one of these a week, Tennessee Pride hot sausage. You always get some of that. And you always have cream cheese. And you always have zucchini. Always have that in your refrigerator at least for one time a week. And tomatoes. You always have tomatoes. So that on a night that you don't feel like cooking and you want some comfort food, this can be done like that. So what I've done here is I've taken one of these entire sausages and cut it in half. This will last us 2 meals. I can do like half of it like I'm doing right now. I can do that half actually for a marinara sauce for Zoodles, which I'll get to in a second. And I can do the other half for chili. So we're going to do tonight Zoodles, and we're doing a marinara sauce. And so I've got this, and I'm going to do it up high on medium. And then I've got 3 medium tomatoes, because remember, you're going to have hidden carbs and hidden sugars, and you're also going to have plastics, because even in canned goods, there's still some xenoestrogens. So you're going to have some tomatoes on hand, and you're going to cut about 3 medium tomatoes, and you're going to also have 2 huge, or if they're not too huge, it counts on how many people you're doing this for. The meal that I'm actually cooking tonight is enough for 3 people. There is so much fat in it. By the time you get ready to sit down and eat, you think you're going to eat a whole plate. You will be fortunate if you eat maybe a third of your plate, because it is that filling. It's very deceiving. And so we're going to take this zucchini and we're going to make it in what is called Zoodles. This is already 1 zucchini already made into Zoodles. I've got my sausage on, and I'm letting my sausage get hot so it can cook, right? And so in the meantime, I also have the crust in the oven for the coffee cheesecake, and I'm waiting for the sausage to get done in order that I can start the process of the marinara sauce. This is the best marinara sauce, bar none. And again, the secret to really good marinara sauce and chili is Tennessee Pride hot sausage. $3 at Walmart, and you can make this last for 2 entire meals for 2 people. $1.50. How good is that, right? And so while I've got this getting ready, we're going to end up, and I'm actually going to put my filling inside of the refrigerator and let it stay there. And so I've got this, and I'm waiting for the temperature. I'm going to bump the temperature up on this. And this is going to be my Tennessee Pride hot sausage. Half of it is in here. And then after that gets good and brown, you want the oils. The good thing about the Tennessee Pride hot sausage and the thing with the ketogenic diet is good fats. And those good fats, those saturated fats, when you're looking at those saturated fats, you're looking at olive oil, coconut oil, butter, sesame seed oil, avocado oil. You're looking at all these good, but also fats from meat. And so one of the things, you hear that sizzling. That's what you want to hear when you're cooking this Tennessee Pride hot sausage. You want that sizzling, because that sizzling is going to give you that brownish on the very outside of it. And you're going to do this in little bitty chunks in order that it's broken up, and it's going to have brown marks all around it. And the oils come out of that Tennessee Pride hot sausage. It is the perfect flavor, perfect for marinara sauce. It is the perfect flavor for chili. You almost don't need much seasoning if you use Tennessee Pride hot sausage. So you can hear that sizzling right here. And I'm going to check on my pie crust just to check on it to make sure it's doing all right. Let me let it cook just a couple more minutes. It's doing really, really good. So it's fine in there. And then after that comes out, I'm going to immediately pour in the filling and put it back in. Again, a lot of people don't do that. They say let the crust cool down. But I do this all the time because generally I do it for mine and Rich's afternoon coffee. When he gets home from work, he's walking up the apartment. I've got this thing turned on. It's been cooking for an hour, brewing and percolating for an hour. And I have coffee and generally a dessert at least 4 times during the week so that we can enjoy it with our dessert right before dinner. And so let us look at doing this, and we're going to crunch this sausage up and just start breaking it up. You can't do it immediately because it's cold. And when it's cold, you're fighting a losing battle and trying to break the sausage up. And so what you want to do is just wait until the actual heat from the burner ends up making it warm enough to where it's easy just to break down. You see that? And you hear that sizzling. You want to keep hearing that sizzling all the way through this cooking because, again, you want to bring the oils out of that meat. And also, it's got such perfect heat all packed inside of the meat. I love having it in the meat, but I also love it flowing out into the oils, into the actual sauce that we're going to make, right? And so I've got this turned up a little bit, and we're going to go ahead, and again, I'm going to bump these walnuts up because these walnuts are going inside of my pie. So let me also do attention to these walnuts. And again, watch your walnuts. You can do pecans. You can do almonds. I just like walnuts. Tomorrow we're going to actually do pecans for a certain souffle that I'm going to do. But I like doing walnuts just because it adds a little chunkiness inside of that coffee cheesecake. You can also make heavy whipped cream. Oh my goodness. We live on heavy whipped cream. We love heavy whipped cream. I keep heavy whipped cream on hand for everything. And so we end up also making homemade whipped cream, which you can put on top of your cheesecake. It is super yummy. So I've got these, and I'm going to turn these up a little bit. And then also, I've got what I'm making tonight. I've got 2 meals going on. I've got a dessert, and then I've also got a marinara sauce that I'm getting together. And so I've got the meat, the Tennessee fried hot sausage, cooking before I get ready to put in my tomatoes. I'm not going to put my tomatoes in until this meat is totally cooked. It's looking good, and it's actually cooking fast. And again, if you want something easy to cook and you don't want to think about it, if you're tired and you just want to relax, this would be the go-to. Tennessee fried hot sausage, tomatoes, seasoning, and you're going to also, what we're going to put in ours is actually later on, once the tomatoes start cooking down enough, we're going to put in some cream cheese into our marinara sauce. Why? Because we want some more fats. We want some more good fats. And it's going to end up adding texture to it as well. And it's just going to be super creamy. It's almost like a prima rosa sauce. Almost like a Parmesan rosa sauce is what it's the best description. So I've got this Tennessee fried hot sausage. It's sizzling. It's getting close to where I can put in the tomatoes. Just another minute or two. And look at the countdown. Look at this. Here's the countdown for our crust. And look at that. It is perfect. Look at that. Ooh. It smells good. Do you see that? Our crust is done. 20 minutes, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour in. That thing is popping. And you know what? Sausage pops. Bacon pops. Pork pops. So you just get that going on. See how I'm able to do 2 different things at one time. It's not that difficult. A lot of people think keto diet is very cumbersome. It's difficult. It is very easy. If I can do this, you can do this. Let me get my pie filling. So here's the pie filling, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pour in my walnuts. So here are these walnuts that I've been cooking, and I'm going to go ahead and pour these into my mixture. And then I'm going to get this mixture and pour it all into the inside of that crust. Oh my goodness. Once you make this, it will be absolutely yummy. You will want to keep eating it over and over and over and over. And so I'm going to pour it in, and it's going to look like it's going to overflow. I mean, it's going to look like it's going to overflow, because it pretty much is. But remember, this is going to rise, and by the time it settles down in the morning, because I'm cooking this for tomorrow, not for today, or even for Friday. I'm cooking this for Friday. After 2 days of being in the refrigerator, this is going to be super yummy. And so it looks like a whole lot right now, but it's going to settle down when you have it in the refrigerator. I love, love, love how this tastes. I know a lot of people don't like raw eggs. I do not suggest doing raw eggs, but I just like getting a taste. That is absolutely wonderful. Woo! I could do a cartwheel. This is absolutely amazing. Snickerdoodle coffee with walnuts and vanilla and sweetener in cream cheese. It is off the chain. Oh my goodness. Rich is going to give me some cheesecake points for this. Oh, this is so awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You have got to try this recipe. And if you do, let me know. I would love to hear it about it. Now I'm going to open this, and we're going to put this in for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, and it's going in the oven. And so now I'm going to put my timer on 30 minutes. And look, the sausage is done while I've been doing that. So 30 minutes on 350. Now we can do our marinara sauce, right? And so you see all that brownness in the pan and the oil? Look at that. That's what you want. You want that little brownness in the pan and the oil, because your liquids are going to scoop it up as they start swimming around. So you put your tomatoes in. Hear that sizzle? You're going to want that sizzle at first, and then you're going to want to turn it down to a simmer, to where I usually simmer it on 4. So turn it for about a little under medium. So about 4. And again, this is a super easy recipe. Now I put seasonings in mine. What seasonings do I put in it? I absolutely, totally love sweetener. I love sweetener in marinara sauce. And so again, I use granulated stevia. We keep this at our coffee station, our oil station. So I'm going to put in a lot of sweetener. Why? Because that sweetness and the heat of the Tennessee Pride hot sausage, you just want to thank your Italian. Ooh, perfecto. That's what you want to do. You want to thank your Italian. Mamma mia. That's what you think. So there's the sweetener. And also I have natural herbs outside, but it's been a little cold. And so the natural herbs are probably not what I want to get right this second. I need to bring them actually inside. But I'm going to go ahead and get some garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and add, I do have basil and oregano outside. And oh my goodness, fresh basil and oregano is off the chain in this marinara sauce. But since again, I wasn't prepared, we're going to go ahead and put in some garlic. And you're going to put in a little bit of salt. And get that salt is still going to bring out some flavor. And then you're also going to want to put in whatever herbs you want. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put in oregano. And again, my preference is actually my own herbs outside. But they're cold and I need to tend to them before I start eating them. So let's let that all mix together. And the liquid is going to start cooking out of those tomatoes. Thank you, Sue. So the liquid is going to cook out of those tomatoes, and I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to 5 and just let it do its thing. This is a good thing, and this is what I love about this meal, because you can do all what's called your mise en place, and that is all your prep work. That is actually a fancy name for prep work. You can do all your mise en place and do that ahead of time, and then by the time you end up throwing everything together, you can go ahead and just walk away, sit down, watch a show, and let this do its thing. So I would generally start this, and generally what I do is let it cook about 20 to 30 minutes or so, just like this. After the sausage is done, when I've got the tomatoes, then I'll do about 20 or 30 minutes with it just like this. Now in the meantime, like if we don't have enough to do, right? I'm going to show you what you do with that. Because what we do with it is we make Zoodles. These are zucchini noodles. And we actually have a wok. And we actually, the coolest thing is I believe in eBay. I shop on eBay. You get the best prices on eBay. And even Amazon sells on eBay. They just don't say that they're Amazon until you get the box in the mail. And so I was shopping eBay. And I found that the Japanese man on Bonanza, he actually, for those of y'all who remember Bonanza, that was when I was like probably a baby. And Bonanza had a Japanese shelf, and that shelf actually ended up making a wok line, and I had a vintage wok that had never been used from that man that was on Bonanza. And so it's absolutely cool. I love collecting pots. I love collecting stuff like that. And so what you're going to do, you hear that fire truck, this police? What you're going to do is you're going to get your zucchini, and you're going to have one of these julienne peelers to where when you just go along the grain, and I'm going to show you right here, I'm not going to do all of it. When you go along the grain, you see it separating? It's going to separate just like that, and it's going to give you all of these different size, the different noodles as you go along. So that's how it looks once you go down it. And by the time you get through with these Zoodles, this is what they look like once you end up getting to the core and go as far into the middle as you can go. You're not going to be able to go all the way in. Once you start seeing those like little seeds that are kind of in the middle, then you're going to want to stop doing it. You're probably only going to do probably about 2/3 of the zucchini. You just keep going around it. What I generally do is I'll do 2 strokes on one side and go around to the other side and do 2 strokes on that side, and I'll keep changing it in order that I can get that full use of all that I can get out of this zucchini, right? And what you're going to do, actually, look at this. Look how perfect it's cooking. I don't know if you can get a good picture of it. And I'm actually going to get another thing to stir it with. This is, I don't know if you can see the liquids, but see that? The tomato juices, you see the juices back there, because you're going to want to cook those juices and reduce it. And once you reduce it, that's when we're going to add in the cream cheese. And it's going to be super, super yummy. You get this, and you put it on top of the Zoodles. With the Zoodles, what you do is we have a massive wok. It's this big, and we put oil. I put olive oil in that wok, and then afterwards, once I turn it on 4, I wait probably for about 2 or 3 minutes to where I know the heat is really good in that wok, and then I put in my Zoodles, and then I just saute them in that olive oil and let them get to the texture that I want to get them. Now you can get them to like an al dente texture. You can even eat it without even cooking it. If you wanted to eat it just raw, oh believe me, it is absolutely delicious. But Rick specifically, and I do too, we like to saute our Zoodles. What is interesting is you can also use this in Asian dishes. Also you can do different sauces. We also do a blue cheese sauce. You can also do a lemon butter cream cheese sauce. But of course, the traditional sauce is absolutely perfect. And it's the best one to probably start and try just to see if you really like it. But oh my goodness, I've done spaghetti squash, and I did that for 2 years. When I started doing Zoodles, I absolutely love Zoodles. They're my favorite. And so you see this kind of, at this moment, we see that it's making progress. We see the steam coming up, and it's indicating it's getting reduced. And so it's about now that I'm going to put in my cream cheese. So I put in cream cheese. Now you can also put in heavy cream, heavy whipping cream. You can do that. But I just love cream cheese. You can put in cream cheese, and what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of let the heat get it, and let the heat start breaking down that cream cheese. If you know that you're going to do this dish, it wouldn't hurt for you to put the cream cheese out even a couple of hours before. Because you know, cream cheese sometimes, that texture takes a minute to really break down good and mix in and blend with the dish. But this is going to make the dish look pink, and it's going to have a pinkish color. And again, I've got the perfect flavoring, the Tennessee Pride hot sausage. It's got so many seasonings in it. The only things I need to add are garlic, salt, and my herbs. Generally, I add basil and oregano. And so we're going to stir this around. And of course, I'm not doing my Zoodles, cooking them for you right now. But I'll go ahead and do a baby sample test just so you can see. You can do it raw. But again, we prefer to do it cooked. But if you want to do it raw, it tastes good like that too. And so I'm mixing this sauce around. And then you're also, if you like Parmesan cheese, we love Parmesan cheese. When I see Parmesan cheese on sale, I love you, Lori. When we see Parmesan cheese on sale, you better believe I'm going to take advantage of that Parmesan cheese. We stock up in cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, Kerry-Gold. This is my third Thanksgiving to be on the ketogenic diet. And now I only carb up maybe 6 times a year, or maybe seven days out of the year. I'll carb up now. Other than that, I'm always on the ketogenic diet. It's totally changed my life. I feel incredible. I have energy. I just feel amazing. I feel youthful. And all the diseases and symptoms that I have are gone. Oh my goodness, gone. And so look at that sauce. Now it's coming together. So if you want to, you can put a little Parmesan cream. You can put a little Parmesan on top of your Zoodles. Now let's look at this. And I know it's not perfectly blended in and cooked down, but I just want to do a small plating, just a baby plating, just a baby one, just so you can kind of get an idea. And you see that tomato sauce, that marinara sauce, it's turned pink. The good thing that this cream cheese does is it adds volume to your sauce, because you don't want to do too many tomatoes, because too many tomatoes, if you're not careful, you'll get too many carbs. Generally, I try to stay under 10 carbs, at the most a meal. I generally eat less than 20 carbs a day. I don't even eat 20 carbs a day, generally. Generally, I'm about 15 carbs and below a day. And I do that counting my carbs and counting your fiber. You take your carb, and then you take your fiber, and you subtract your fiber from your carbs, and that gives you net carbs, and that tells you how many carbs you're basically eating in that portion. And so that's decent enough. And oh my goodness, this sauce looks yummy. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off in order to keep it to where I can turn it on again tonight for Rich. But look at that. I've done that in less than, 20 minutes. We're still cooking dessert, and I've done this in less than 20 minutes. And I'm going to do a little plate, and we're going to see how this little bit of Zoodles tastes. I'm just doing a little bit. And again, I'm doing raw Zoodles, but tonight we're getting our big wok out. The reason I didn't get it out now is because it takes up the entire stove top. And so I didn't want to get that wok out now. But I've got just a little bit of raw Zoodles here. And I'm going to get a spoon and just pour a baby hint of this tomato sauce. Let me get just a hint more of this tomato marinara sauce on top of it. You can see it right there. I know it's not a whole lot, but I just don't want to eat too much. Because I'm telling you, when you get ready to eat dinner, literally, to top this entire plate, that is all I can eat. of this entire meal, and that will basically be all I eat the entire day. This size of a full plate of Zoodles with marinara sauce. It will surprise you how you do not have hunger on the ketogenic diet. We get up in the morning and we go work out at the gym. We get back, we have our keto coffee, we have 2 slices of bacon, and if I eat anything like today, this is a good FYI for those of you who like cream cheese. Today I got 3 portobello mushrooms, and I just stuffed it with cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and Parmesan cheese, a mixture that I mixed together with Cajun seasoning. And I had 3 little portobello mushrooms with cream cheese, and that was my lunch. And between 2 bacons and 3 stuffed mushrooms, and probably a plate this size topped with a Zoodles and marinara sauce, that will be enough that I am stuffed as a tick. So let's try, and let's see this, but oh my goodness, we have to top it with Parmesan, right? So let me get the Parmesan, and we are going to look at that. Look at that. This all happened in such a short time. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad. Parmesan. Love me some Parmesan. And so let me mix it up. And we're going to get a taste of this. Mix it up. Look at that. Aren't those colors pretty? You see the tomatoes? You see the cutting of the diced tomatoes, and you see those Zoodles, and then you also see that Tennessee fried hot sausage in there, right? So let me get a taste. I got to do the moment, right? The tasting moment. And again, this is raw. It tastes just as good raw. Mmm. Yummy! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that makes me want to run around the kitchen. Woo! It tastes yummy. Oh my goodness. Comfort food. Easy stuff. Even if you're not on the ketogenic diet, do this. It is absolutely amazing. I will be like your new best friend if you do that. So look, we still have 15 minutes on the cheesecake, and then the cheesecake is going to be done, and that's when I'll be able to sign off. But in the meantime, we have this tonight, and then I'm going to also finish my Zoodles when I get through with you guys. And in fact, since we got just a few more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the ketogenic diet and what it's done for me. Again, I did not hear about the ketogenic diet from a person. And look at that. I'm doing my Zoodles. See that? There it is. I did not learn about the ketogenic diet from anybody. I was in my kitchen July 2016, and I happened to have this particular supplement on my table, and all of a sudden, God kept telling me, Robin, look at that supplement. And the supplement was Keto. It was a supplement, Keto. And this was in 2016. And this was because an iridologist told me to take it. What is an iridologist? It's the person that looks in your eyes, and by looking at your eyes, I can tell you the different diseases and health issues that you have. And so that was a supplement that he recommended. And so I was in the kitchen, and as I was standing there, and I felt horrible. Oh my goodness, I slept most of the day. It was absolutely horrible being alive. I had adrenal issues. I had acid reflux. I had hypoglycemia. I had pains all over my body. I just absolutely felt miserable. And then all of a sudden, God was telling me, He said, Robin, there is a diet called the keto diet, and I want you to get on it. Well, I looked it up, and sure enough, there was a diet called the ketogenic diet, and I knew that it was the answer to all my problems. And sure enough, within a week of being on this diet, within 1 week, on top of that, my glands were all swollen up for 2 years, nonstop. And I had no reprieve where my glands would ever go down. And my glands were swollen up all over my body. And so within a week and a half to 2 weeks of being on the ketogenic diet, oh my goodness, all of my diseases, those symptoms began to fade away. Little by little, one by one. And I started feeling energy, and I could think with clarity, and I just had so much vitality and so much youthfulness. And then I started noticing changes in different areas where I had wrinkles and my skin started tightening a little bit. Rich and I, after being on it probably for a year, started adding intermittent fasting and even would do dry fasting. What is dry fasting? That means you have no water, no food. You just go without anything. And we did a 3-day Esther fast. That was where you go 3 days without anything. It's a dry fast. And then we also do intermittent fasting. And I love that. But oh my goodness, it has absolutely changed my life. We make sure that we get our fats in because we don't eat a whole lot. And so we get our fats in as we go through the day, and we drink coffee. Some people are like coffee Nazis. You know what? Life is too short. I've given up everything else in my diet, and I love my diet. It's a lifestyle. I'm not going to give up coffee because that is one thing I enjoy. It's like going on a vacation for me. Yay, Barb, keto has changed your life too. Yes, thank you, Barb. Barb says that keto has changed her life too. I'm telling you, when you get on this diet, you will absolutely be amazed. If you've seen my ketogenic coffee video, look at my keto coffee video, and that will show you how to get your fats in through the day. And I'm going to even take one more bite of this. This is yummy. Even if you do just raw Zoodles, oh my goodness, this is absolutely yummy. Let me take one more bite. Oh my goodness. The sweetness of that sweet stevia hitting that heat of the Tennessee Pride hot sausage, and also mixing with those diced tomatoes and that creaminess of that cream cheese resting on top of that Zoodles. It is A+ all the way. You have to try this. It is absolutely the best. We still have 10 minutes before we actually take out this cheesecake. And oh my goodness, this cheesecake is going to be super yummy. And I'll take a picture after it's been sitting for 2 days, because generally you're for sure going to want this to sit in the refrigerator overnight, for sure. But it's actually even better when it's been sitting in the refrigerator for 2 days, because it's going to bring down the height of that cheesecake, and it's going to really bring it down to consistency to where you get that thickness. You know, if you go to Cheesecake Factory and you put your fork inside of that New York style cheesecake, or Outback has the best absolute cheesecake. If you put your fork in it, it is going to have such a cheesy, thick, dense texture. It's not light and fluffy. I've cooked a few cheesecakes that were light and fluffy, and so I started discovering, once I started doing the coffee cheesecake, adding an extra 3 ounces of coffee, and today I added snickerdoodle, and most flavored coffees are sugar-free. They're not sugar, just the flavoring of an oil, and it's without sugar. And so after I started adding the coffee, oh my goodness, it absolutely was a game changer. And for those of you who have watched me, it is super easy to do. We've only got 8 more minutes for this cheesecake to be ready, and it's looking super yummy. And again, it's been in there 30 minutes on 350, the filling has, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator once it gets out. But one of the other things that I want to really encourage you, for those that are doing the ketogenic diet, is I want to encourage you not to give up. Do not look at this as a weight loss diet. If can you lose weight? Absolutely. But if you look at this as a diet to lose weight, you totally miss the point. What you're looking for is a lifestyle change. Our body was never designed to take in processed foods, GMOs, plastics, xenoestrogens. Our body was never designed for that, right? And so as a result, we have gut issues, we have leaky gut, we have issues in our health, our digestive tract. People are having their gallbladders taken out very early. These are all a result of processed foods. So some of the things that I did that absolutely was a game changer, look at my video on my keto channel about perimenopause and keto. because I talk about a supplement that I do called TMG. TMG, and it's basically it's betaine, and it's actually a supplement made out of beets. And that is actually what helps the methylation process so that you can methylate in order to do the ketogenic diet. For me, I also do L-carnitine, also add that. That really helps as well. I do ox bile, a digestive enzyme. And for me, a lot of people don't do it, but for me, I still check my blood sugars and my keto levels, my blood levels. In this Precision, this particular little contraption, this is a blood ketone meter. This little gadget right here, it's a blood ketone meter, and you do it for both blood ketones and blood glucose. Now, a lot of people do not do L-glutamine. I believe in powder. I believe in the powder form because the powder is more potent to me. And so we also have a little machine right here, a little scale that you can actually weigh your powder on. But for me, I believe in L-glutamine. For those people that have digestive issues and leaky gut, L-glutamine is awesome. A lot of people don't do it on ketogenic diet because it actually kicks them out of ketosis. But I want my gut fixed, right? And so because of my leaky gut, I do that L-glutamine. Now it's getting closer to being done. 5 more minutes. And we're going to have us a coffee cheesecake. And you see this waiting here for tonight. I'll go ahead and put my sugar up. And I'll go ahead and clean out this garlic and this salt and put these up. And my walnuts. And so for those of you who have questions, let me know if you have any questions. Do any of you have any questions out there? If not, we'll just go just a hint longer for me to show you this finished cheesecake. It is absolutely yummy. Absolutely yummy. And I will try to put the recipe below on my YouTube channel in order that you can cook the recipe and have the ingredients and the amounts, and it will be super yummy on both the cheesecake and on the marinara sauce, right? And so I'm going to just wait just 4 more minutes. It's almost time, and we're going to have us a beautiful cheesecake and let it sit overnight. If you don't have any questions, I can go ahead and talk about a couple more things as it relates to keto. And when you first start keto, a lot of people don't realize that you're going to have carb withdrawals. Oh yes! What did you say, Roseanne? Do you get the almond meal ground already? This is what I get, Roseanne. Good question. Walmart, 2 pounds of blanched almond flour, $11.88. And it just, we get this, since I'm cooking so many desserts, we get this for probably every other week. This will last us 2 weeks. Yes, it will. Yes. Oh, the YouTube channel. Thank you, Diane. The YouTube channel is called Cooking Keto with Kirby-Gatto. And it is an awesome channel. I'm going to start trying to add as many keto videos as I can. I've got very informative videos that I put on there. It is absolutely awesome, especially for women and even men. That issue on the video with perimenopause and ketogenic diet. So I get this particular thing. This is a go-to. I always get, of course, a big thing of stevia. My weekly things, we generally get this every other week, and we get this every other week. We buy coconut oil probably once every 3 weeks for us. This actually works. Organic coconut oil. Expeller pressed is the cheapest one that they have. It actually was more of an acquired taste for this coconut oil, but once I started drinking it in my keto coffees, I actually started liking the taste. At first it took a minute for the taste to grow on me, but once I started having the taste, oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. Now we also do as well, let me show you, we also do MCT oil. Look, there's oil all over this. We keep it in a bowl just because it's going to get all over the place. I do not do plastics, but this is the only exception I have in my house. This is the only plastic bowl, And it is just so the oil that comes from this MCT oil doesn't get all over the cabinet. But you're going to want real good MCT oil. Is actually NOW. You cannot see this because the oil just comes all down it when we pour it. We also will use MCT oil. This goes a little bit faster as a medium chain triglyceride than regular coconut oil. A lot of people says it increases their ketones, and it's been proven to do that. But I find my ketones increase as much on the regular coconut oil. So sometimes we'll do this actually at nighttime. For some reason, if we do a late night dandy blend drink and it's actually chicory and it ends up having a taste with dandelion and it's called dandy blend, it has like an instant coffee taste. We'll do that, and we'll do it with MCT oil, and for some reason it just really makes me go to sleep just like that. So we have 1 more minute on our cheesecake, and then we'll get ready to end. I cannot thank you enough for being here for this Cooking Keto with Kirby-Gatto. You've got 2 awesome recipes. You've got a cheesecake, and you've also got a marinara sauce. Oh my goodness. Those are 2 foundational ones on the ketogenic diet. If you do these, you will be a happy camper, right? And also, what I was going to say on the ketogenic diet, you're going to carb crash. You're going to have carb withdrawals. Make sure you have enough sodium. For me, I was sodium depleting because you're going to be going to the bathroom. The first 3 pounds that you lose in the first 3 days are all going to be water weight. And so your sodium is going to deplete out of your body. And so I always keep around bouillon cubes. And I have both this chicken and I also have beef. I don't really have any crashes at all. But if I do a carb up day, I notice the next day I probably need a bouillon cube because I can feel that headache coming on from sodium depleting, from all that sodium leaving my body. Now let's get ready and let's look at this cheesecake. It's ready, and let's see how it looks. And again, this is not going to do it justice because it's actually going to look even better after it's been in the refrigerator for 2 days. I'm leaving it in the refrigerator and not eating it till Friday. Let's get ready to look at this. Or, yeah, not eating it till Friday. There we go. Not eating it till Friday. So here we go. It is done. So let me bring it out, and I'll show you how high this is right now. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me get this. Now this is how it looks right now. I'm trying to get a good picture. That's how it looks right now. But that middle part is actually going to go down just probably another couple of millimeters, and it's going to sink down and get flat, and the whole surface is going to be even flatter. It's going to sink as you have it in the refrigerator, and the thickness and density of this is phenomenal. This is super easy. You can do it in no time, and it will make the yummiest keto dessert you have ever had. I've made lemon bars, I've made cookies, I've made pumpkin cakes, I've done fat bombs, but oh my goodness, this is my favorite, hands down, every single time. So I hope you have enjoyed today, and I hope you have a blessed day, and a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you later, and thank you for joining in. It has been an awesome time. I will see you later. Happy Thanksgiving.